But let's start with The Voice.
Yes.
You were on The Voice. Talk about that experience. How was that?
Well, I've just done so much reality TV, I guess. It's like, I have an IMDb and it's just like reality TV shows. Yeah. But I actually did an open call, which was like very like early American Idol days. You remember watching those where people would like come to cattle calls? So I did one of those for The Voice.
Okay.
And I got to like, they do a few rounds before you even touch that stage. And then they cut me. And I was so sad. And I was like, what do I do now? You know? And at that point I was working at my dad's law firm.
Okay.
And I had a day where I was like on the floor sorting through bins. And I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life? You know, I'm an artsy person. I shouldn't be here. So I was like, you know what? I don't need The Voice. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And I started a band, and The Voice, like a producer messaged my band and was like, hey, like, would your lead singer like to audition for The Voice?
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, this is my chance. And I was like, well, I actually already did, you know, and you guys cut me.
Cut me.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Cut me. So they were like, oh, well, we'll take you back, you know? So I went back and went through a couple more rounds. They had like what they call like an executive round, where you like go and they have a room set up with all these candles, and it was very moody, and it was in front of all the executives. And I've never been so scared in my life. My friend that I met really great friends through the process. And I had one friend named Kim Cherry, love her. And she was like, you need to calm down. Like, you're being really weird, like how anxious I was being. I was like, and like standing up and like doing, you know, power posing. And, but it went so well. It was such a good experience. And then I got through to the next round, obviously. And then you live in a hotel for like a month and a half, just doing like voice lessons and wardrobe and stuff, and just like getting to be an artist, which is a very cool experience.
Yeah. You've been recently playing with Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules.
Yes.
He has a band and he tours all over the country, and you go with him.
Yeah.
Tell us how that all happened.
That, you know, I've been with that band now for like 3 years. And their music director, or our music director, Colin Diaz, met me through a friend of a friend and sent me a DM on Instagram and was like, we have 2 shows coming up they were being filmed for Vanderpump Rules, actually. And we need a background singer. Like, are you available? This is the rate, you know? And I was like, yeah, 2 shows I could do, you know, I could do that, you know? And like, yeah, it sounds easy. And then I met them all, fell madly in love with all of them. And it's been 3 years. So, and innumerable shows. I don't know how many at this point.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And y'all have toured all over the country. How has that been? Like touring everywhere?
We've been everywhere. I keep saying we need to go to Canada. We need to get out of here and try somewhere else too. Yeah. But you know, Vanderpump Rules is an American show.
Yeah.
So I think his fan base is here. But it's amazing. I love touring with them.
We talked about there was a period where, you know, there was like scandal brewing on Vanderpump Rules with Tom and the whole thing. Yeah. And so there were some shows that actually got kind of hostile, right?
Yeah, the audience. Yeah. Because, you know, when you do a reality show, like that, you know, there's like the competition shows, like The Voice is a competition show. So like, you don't really want people's negative opinions on that show. Like, that doesn't serve you. But for a show like Vanderpump Rules, like, the audience is very invested, even if they don't like you. And Tom was in some hot water and they were mad at him. And I think people, when they watch a show like that, it becomes part of their lives. And it felt like they had been betrayed and like they were a part of it. And they really wanted to let him know that they felt it. And so they would come to our shows, and it'd be crazy because we would like sell out like these big places, and they were mad. They didn't like him, but they were there, you know?
Wait. People came just to yell at him or just to like be mad.
They made shirts with mean things on it. They brought signs. We had to like start telling people like, you're not allowed to bring signs. Like, people at the door, like checking for signs. Like, yeah. So it was like, I'm sure everyone in the band has their own opinion on it, but like, it was like very character building, like for all of us, I think. But like going up and being like, it doesn't matter, we're gonna perform anyways, you know, we don't have a choice, damn it. But yeah, it's luckily the tide has turned and people are very kind now. But it's just part of the reality game, I think. Like, just being the audience's negative opinion of you is also part of the appeal.
Yeah, and I remember before you were also saying that kind of the audience even kind of came at you like in a show or two.
Yes.
Like it came at you directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. But the thing is now in hindsight, I'm like, my name's Maddi.
Yeah.
And it was in Philadelphia and they were cheering Maggie.
Oh.
And I don't know if they were going, Maggie, but there was hate in their eyes. They hated me. And then they were throwing stuff on stage also.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not sure, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, like we like her to be like annoying to Tom, you know? And then sometimes they just hate all of us. So I don't know what that's about. Oh, I don't know. But it hurt me deeply. I did cry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It doesn't take a lot to make me cry, actually. I'm a crier. Yeah. It's good for the soul to cry, I think. Don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You were on stage with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. When you told me that, it was like such a random thing. But like, how did that?
I'm so grateful that I got a picture, because no one would believe me.
You have the proof. You have the receipts.
I have proof. Yes. Yeah, and I'll send them to you. Insert. If you want to. But it was a fluke. It was I used to do a lot of comedy, and in comedy, people learned that I also did music, and so I would do a lot of like variety shows where like I would end as the music, and I was doing a show at I think it wasn't the Laugh Factory. It was Hollywood Improv.
Okay.
And which they do stand up. They don't do improv. They do improv there sometimes, but they mostly do stand up. And it was a stand up show of a bunch of different stand ups, and I was gonna close the show with a song.
Okay.
So they literally, like, I thought they were joking. The host came out and was like, guys, like, I can't believe it, but Dave Chappelle is here. And then he came up and did like an hour of stand up, and everyone was like, ah. Yeah. And then at the very end, he was like, I guess I'm done. And then the host came back on and was like, well, we were gonna have some music. And he was like, well, can I sing too?
Oh, wow.
And so I came up, and then he and I sang Creep by Radiohead together.
Oh, wow. That's a random.
It was, I guess that's like a song he used to do a lot, though. It was surreal and crazy, and no one was allowed to have phones, but one sneaky person, I won't say who, took a sneaky video and came up to me afterwards and was like, hey, like, I got this. And I was like, oh my God, thank you, because it's such a good video.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a good video.
Yeah. It's not often you get to sing Creep with Dave Chappelle.
I know, but because we got to perform together, like when they closed the club, like they were like, you can stay. So I got to stay and like hang out. Yeah, awesome. And then he invited me to a birthday party the next night. And I went.
So you went to it was his birthday party or just
somebody
else's?
No, it was like his friend's birthday party.
Wow. So
I had no business being
at
there.
A birthday party with Dave Chappelle.
There was like so many people. Like Kendall Jenner was there, and just like another famous basketball player who, if I remembered his name, you'd be like, that's cool. But I don't remember right now. I was way out of my depth. I was just like holding a glass of wine and like scared. Yeah. But it was really cool.
I had an opportunity to see.
Yes, you did.
The Bee Gees. What would you call it? A Bee Gees?
It's a sketch comedy musical.
About the Bee Gees.
Yes. The premise is, for those of you watching, is that bands are breaking up through the 70s, which is true. Like the Beatles broke up. The Bee Gees really did break up, The Eagles had a bunch of members coming in and out. Joe Walsh, Danny Meisner, all these people, So the premise is that the Bee Gees break up and try to join other iconic bands of the 70s, and in their Bee Gee fashion. And it's all done in drag. And we were fortunate enough to take it all the way to frickin' Edinburgh, Scotland for the festival, which has like 4,000 shows or something crazy like that. And it was such an experience. Did I tell you anything about it?
Yeah, we talked about it some. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was horrifying. Truly horrifying.
Why is this horrifying?
It was so horrifying. Well, one, like, we like in Los Angeles, it killed, right? It killed. Yeah. People were like, that was so funny. Like, we were like so cocky. We were like, it's going to be great, And then the first night, a lot of things were going right, and a lot of things were in hindsight things that we would do differently. The venue was amazing, but just a little older clientele. Okay. And we did a drag musical. Yeah. We're Just as Men, And it had been marketed as you know, a
70s rewind.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can only put so much on the website. And so I think a lot of people were expecting
something else.
Mostly music, where our show is a comedy, you know,
right.
as you saw, with a lot of music. I think.
There was a lot of music.
Lots of music. Every scene's got a song.
Yeah, for sure.
But the first night, like we went to get our wrinkles out of our costumes. Did I tell you this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. We're like running stuff and like getting ready. We're so excited. And we're like, okay, let's get, we're unpacking our suitcase, but all of our costumes were a little wrinkly.
Okay.
So we chucked them in our dryer, like thinking we had like 45 minutes before we had to skedaddle, you know? We let them dry. It was 7 o'clock. We had to be there at 7:30. We're like, okay, let's get our stuff out and get going. And the dryer would not open. It wouldn't open. And like all three of us had our phones out, like looking up this brand of washer dryer, trying to like jumpstart it and like free our costumes. We couldn't. So we had to go to the venue with half our costumes. We were missing like 3 costumes. And then our lighting guy didn't show up.
Oh man.
So we like had no lighting, and it's like a lights up, lights down, lights up, lights down. Oh, song happens, sparkle disco ball. You know what I mean? It was just like Murphy's Law. Like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. Is that right? Murphy's Law?
I don't know. I don't know. I think yes.
There's 40 people here.
Yes,
and,
we're gonna go with
none of us knows.
and say that's what it is.
But just like anything that could go wrong was going wrong. So we had to. But that was what was great about it also, was that like we had to like figure out how to make it work, you know? Okay, we don't have our costumes. What do we have, you know? Yeah. Okay, these jokes aren't landing. What does land? Can we lean more into that, you know? Yeah. And that really, people say that that's what Fringe is about, is like workshopping and working hard. And it made me, Rainey, and Jordana very, very close, because we had to rely on each other. And
I take lessons with you. You're a voice teacher, and I take lessons with you. Give me the basics of what someone should be doing when they're singing. You're like referring to them, but let's give like a 1, 2, 3. Like,
explain.
You should do this. You should do this when you're singing.
Yeah. Okay. We have to produce sound and then get out of the way of it and shape it.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So supporting, like using your diaphragm to support instead of your neck. A lot of people you'll see like sing like, you know, and you see.
I'm guilty.
You see support there.
Yes. When I'm trying to hit a high note or something, you do this. You tension
you tend to reach for it.
Yes.
You know, but we have to support.
But
lower.
that's bad.
That's bad. But that's bad. Yes. And you have to support lower.
Okay.
You know, and it sucks as an artist, and we talk about this a lot. Like you kind of look cool if you're like, singing for it, but you can't. Yeah. This has to be dead. You know. So producing sound is supporting the right way.
Yes.
Okay. Getting out of the way. I always say get out of the way of your sound, because, you know, if I started talking with my mouth closed, you can hear it. And so often we'll sing and we'll be like, you, and like sing with like some tension. You have to get out of the way. It has to be dead, you know? Our tongue, we talked about a little bit. Yeah. It tends to pull back for a lot of people. You know, you'll be singing like, and you see your tongue pull back, and it has to actually be dead.
Because your tongue blocks the sound.
You can hear it if I start talking like this. You know what I mean? But also like your tongue goes all the way back here too, and like that's where sound is vibrating, is in the back of your mouth and, you know, the front of your mouth, depending on the vowel. But we won't get too deep.
Yeah.
But it has to be out of the way. It has to be forward, touching your teeth.
Tongue forward, touching your teeth. Mouth nice and open.
Yeah. No clenched jaw.
In your jaw.
Yeah. And then you need to shape it, you know, and everybody has, you know, I'm sure there's different schools of thought, but the way I view it is that we sing vowels and they're in groups of bright and dark. So like you, go, saw, they're pretty dark. And to leave our mouth the best way, you have to shape them. And it's by shaping your mouth long. And then bright vowels like E, I, A are bright. And they resonate a little bit further forward. Ask anyone, any dialect coach, and they'll tell you the same things. And so you need to shape them a little differently. You have to drop your mouth and use your tongue to help pronounce it. And we get in the way a lot with bright vowels, with E. We want to smile and we go, E, E. And what are you doing? You know, you can see.
You're pinching the sound.
Yeah, you can pinch it. You can see it. E, that it's getting pinched, you know? Versus E, you know?
All you on TikTok.
Yeah.
You've had, we can talk about TikTok. You've had some like songs.
I went slightly viral.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did. I was thinking a Hunger Games song. Because Hunger Games had a moment. So yeah.
Which was smart to do.
I love the Hunger Games so much, and those songs are so good. From the Ballad of Songs, Birds and Snakes.
Okay,
because they're based on.
I didn't see that one. I think I saw the other movies, but I didn't see that. That was the latest one, right?
Yeah,
I didn't see the latest.
It wasn't my favorite movie, but it's a great book.
Okay,
and Rachel Zegler's voice is amazing. It's amazing, and Susan Collins wrote all of the songs based off of real songs. Like they're like the melodies are real traditional American folk songs because just the Hunger Games takes place in like a dystopian America.
Yes.
So the roots are American. So American folk is like a lot of the tradition because District 12 is Appalachia. So they have like a lot of Appalachian folk songs with different words.
Okay.
It's really good. We could do a whole podcast on that. Really,
I see. You just
keep the cameras rolling, Leon. I can keep going. Really, I'm very passionate about it. They're very good.
But that's cool though. I mean, you take something that you're passionate about, combine it with, singing that you're also passionate about, and, put it on social media.
Moment.
And then you have your little viral moment. Yeah, that's awesome.
So if you want to follow me on there,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was that, how many views did they get? Was it like a million?
It's at like 1.4.
1.4 million.
Which is a lot for me, okay?
Excuse me.
It's a lot for me. I know, yeah.
I said a million, my bad.
Yeah.
Like, no, 1.4.
Yeah.
Get the 0.4 in there.
But I like it's so funny because like you like set up shots and you're like, this is the one. I put on makeup, This one I was like in between students and like just like, like singing, and then I opened my phone like 20 minutes later and it was like, I'd like never gotten so many notifications in my life. Yeah. I was like, it was so much serotonin. It set me up for like a week and a half. I was like, what do I do? I was just checking it,
Yeah.
It still gets stuff. Like I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I had one of those too.
Yeah,
so,
did you?
Yeah.
What did you post?
Well, it was I was basically, it was about Diddy when the whole Diddy stuff kind of started happening.
Yeah.
And it was like a reference back to a song he did with like Keisha Cole. And he was saying some wild stuff at the end. And I was like, Diddy told y'all a long time ago who he was. And I played like this clip, whatever. And so anyway, he got like 1 million views.
Wow.
So it was like, but yeah, it was the same kind of thing. It was like, just a random,
just a moment in time. And
So I'm trying to, remind myself to do that more. It doesn't have to necessarily be
this perfected thing.
A perfect thing. It doesn't have to be, all scripted per se. I want to, get better about, just creating, just constantly creating.